Hello there. Today we are going to learn about breathing. I want to tell you why it's so important to breathe. Do you know that we can go without food for 2 to 3 weeks? We can go without water for 2 to 3 days. But do you know that we can only do without breathing 2 to 3 minutes? That's how important breathing is, right? So I want to tell you why. So this is our little brain here. And basically, the left side of the brain, when you're born, it starts to imprint, right? You get imprinted by your environment, by what you see, what you hear, what your environment is, and you become kind of a product of that environment. If there's yelling, raging, and screaming on, you could have trauma stuck inside that brain, and lots of hurts, hangups, and habits can be stuck in that brain because it's been programmed. So basically from 0 to 6 is the most foundational part of your life, actually. That's when that brain really starts to be developed and programmed. You could learn 6 languages before the age of 6. So a little child, all the data, it's a brand new computer, and then everything that gets formed in there is from whatever they're exposed to. Whatever's been downloaded in there from their parents, from their environment, from anybody that's been in their life as a young child. As we become adults, the left side of the brain really doesn't get woken up because awareness until you're about 13. And then you start to try to think on your own. But basically, this part of the brain has been your subconscious, which runs you 95% of the time, and they say it's autopilot. So that's why it's really important to do breathing exercises, because this little corpus callosum right in here actually connects the right and left sides of the brain together. This is the one that you have to stop. You actually have to think. You have to think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So just remember, this thinking mind can rewire this subconscious mind. Instead of trying to think about what's stuck in here, you just have to rewire it with new wiring. So if this one says, I'm no good, I'm not valuable, I can never do anything right, it says any kind of bad negative talk, because this is the one that feels sorry for itself. This is the one that self-sabotages, because it can have very bad imprints of trauma, neglect, pain. We hold pain in that part of our brain. So the only way to clean it out is to put good, new, improved patterns and wiring inside this programming. So we're going to do it through breathing, because breathing is the most important way to connect that corpus callosum. It makes it stronger and thicker, and they've learned that from monks, because they have a really strong, thick corpus callosum because of their breathing, because they take so much time for meditation and breathing. So that's what we're going to do here. Our first breathing is going to be one that will connect that. And we're going to call it the balancing breath. So, and I learned this, I've done a lot of different studies. I've done probably 8 or 9 different courses on breathing. And I also went to a place called Optimum Health, and they did tons of education on breathing as well. And let me tell you, when you start doing it a little bit more and more every day, it becomes more comfortable. And I love you to do this little thing. If you take your hands and you put them, you fold them, right? Take them apart, fold them again. Just be aware where they keep landing. Do they land in the same spot easily? Yep, it always goes back to the same spot. It's so comfortable there. You know, us as human beings love comfort. We don't want change. We don't want things different. It's hard, because it pushes you outside of your box. Now, I want you to take those fingers and just move them all over one finger, even your thumb, and do that. It just feels different. It feels uncomfortable. I don't like it because it's not something I'm used to. And I want you to know, though, when you're feeling uncomfortable, you're doing really well. All right, so let's do our first breathing technique. After you realize it might feel a little uncomfortable doing new breathing techniques, because it's not something you're familiar with, just like the fingers, just like the hands, but you're going to become more and more familiar with it. It's called the balancing breath. You're going to I take my front of my finger, I breathe in your one side of your nose, then you're going to hold it for a second, then you're going to let it out the other side. Now I'm going to take another deep breath in from this side of the nose. Going to hold it for a second, and then I'm going to let it out the other side. All right, so here we go. Hold it for a second. Now we're going to breathe it again. And we're going to let it out. Breathe in with this nose. And we're going to let it out. When you're breathing in, your stomach should expand. Okay, now you're going to hold it for a second. Turn it. Now let your stomach push in. Okay, now it's your turn. Listen for it. You need to do it loud enough so you can hear it. And then the other thing is when you're breathing in, I want you to think of something amazing. I want you to think of heaven opening up or the skies opening up and pouring down love in abundance. I want you to think of beautiful rays of light or warmth, like when a sunlight is on your face and it feels so warm, when that sun is just beaming on your face and the warmth of that sun just makes you feel so good. In the sunshine, people are happier and nicer. So it's important that when you're taking this deep breath in, you're seeing this big, beautiful light just come and pour into your heart, into your mind, but you're going to feel it. So think of when somebody's kind to you. It's like a soft, warm hug. And you can use your imagination for it as well. Your imagination is one of your greatest strengths. It will do incredible things because it's the law of attraction. You're attracting what you're thinking about. So it's so important to take control of that mind when you're breathing. Okay, you're gonna tell it what to think. You're gonna imagine what to think. Imagine abundance and magnificence. You know what I love to say? I am abundantly rich, healthy, happy, whole, fit, and complete, and I lack nothing. Right? So when I'm doing these breathing exercises, I'm thinking of those things. Do you know the most important person in this world to know is you? Yes, it's you. You're the most valuable and important person to know. So you doing these breathing exercises, you should be very proud of yourself because you're investing in you. And that's the goal. It's very important for you to understand the why of why you're going to do things, because then it will make you want to do it. Anytime I know the why, I'm thinking, oh, I want a smarter brain. Oh, I want my brain to calm down. I think that's a big one too. Your brain, when it's overactive and you're going and going and going and going, sometimes does your brain ever feel like this, right? But guess what? When we breathe, it starts to slow it down. It starts to slow that brain down. And it's starting to tap into that right side of the brain that wants to be used. And guess what? You will. Because you're going to start doing breathing. You're going to start slowing down that mind that wants to just go on overload. We don't want that. That's why we're going to do breathing. This is a box breathing is next, okay? So the box breath is going to be breathe in 4, hold for 4, and then let it out for 4. We're just going to take the deep breath in for 4. Hold, that was for 4, and I let it out. But always remember, when you take your first deep breath in, stomach goes in, and your breath goes in. Hold it. And that you can do, and I would say probably at least do for 5 minutes. When I went to Optimum Health, we did it for like an hour, which was absolutely phenomenal. I felt like I had like the biggest ball of bliss in that hour. Like I literally was getting so much great oxygen to my brain that I felt like a brilliant machine. That's what happens. When you slow that mind down through breathing, you really, really become more brilliant. You will tap into that greater part of your mind. And that's it for this one. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day or a wonderful night wherever you are in this world. And God bless you.